Hello everyone, this is Avanti and today we are going to learn the basic granny square. And I love this yarn. This is an acrylic yarn. I bought this from Hobby Lobby, and alternatively you can use the red heart yarn, which is also acrylic variety and easily available in the stores as well as online. The hook size is 4.5 mm, and what you can use is if you don't have the 4.5 exactly, just go a little lower or a little above. I would highly recommend using maybe 4.5 or 5, and always use what is written on the yarn. Though it is written to use 5 mm knitting needles and 5.5 crochet hooks, I prefer using a little lower side of the hook because I feel that makes my crochet look intricate and very neat. So let's start our granny square. So what I'm going to do is I'm starting the granny square project because it is a beginner friendly project. I'm going to start it using a simple method instead of the magic ring. So this is how we do. We put 2 fingers here. We take the tail of the yarn, that is the starting of the yarn, and then we roll over. Purposely, I'm putting it in a cross position so that I can have 2 threads of yarn on my back side. I'm going to hold my yarn like this and I'm going to insert. I'm stopping right there. I'm lifting my hook and I'm purposely attaching my hook onto the yarn and pulling it over. This is how I am going to have the basic knot from where we are going to start our crochet. If it was a little confusing for you, maybe let's start again. I took the tail, I took my 2 fingers, rolled over the yarn, went on back. I have 2 strands. I inserted my hook below the first strand, purposely attached it and pull it through the first. And here it is. Alternatively, you can also use your own hands like this. I'm following the same method and I'm inserting my finger to pull up the second strand. And here it is. For this, I'm going to insert my hook into this and I'm tightening my loop. And this is how I have it. Although this is my style of holding the crochet hook. If you're more comfortable for the pencil hold of the yarn and the hook, go ahead and do it. For me, I find it more comfortable and ergonomically. It is suitable for my hand. That's why I use this hold. And I'm going to start crocheting. I want you to simply observe me how I'm doing it effortlessly. Though it looks effortless, to reach this level, you need practice and patience. But don't worry, I have got you. Your simple chain stitch should look like this. Let me try once more. This is the basic knot, the first loop that we created. I'm inserting my hook again. What I'm doing, I'm holding my yarn in one hand and I'm creating this tension. Let's start crocheting. I'm holding the yarn and securing it in my hand like this. I'm using my middle finger and the thumb to secure this knot over the crochet hook, and also placing my first finger onto the loop so that I can slide it. Make sure you get all these things correctly when you start crocheting, because this is what matters the most when you are a beginner. You have to adjust this tension and your yarn should glide smoothly over the crochet hook. This process is called as chain making. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my crochet hook below the yarn. I'm having this yarn over my crochet hook. I'll show you again. I'm going below the yarn. I'm taking a loop over the crochet hook. I'm sliding slowly and taking it out here. Again, I have another loop on my crochet hook. I'm going below again. Go below the yarn and pull up a loop. I'm adjusting my hands so that I can have correct pressure to make a stitch. Again, going below the yarn and I'm creating a chain. Go below the yarn, yarn over and pull up a loop. Go below the yarn over, pull up a loop. Go below the yarn over and pull up a loop. Go below the yarn, yarn over and pull up a loop. And you can see we have this beautiful braid-like structure which is called as the foundation chain. This V shape here counts as a stitch. So this one here is the first chain stitch, the second V, the third V, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 9, 10. I'm removing all my chains by snatching this yarn again. So let's count it again. Let's see if you can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm going to do now is called a slip stitch. I'm going to insert my hook into the first chain that we created. How to identify your first chain? We just learned it. Count your V shapes. This is your first, second, third, and fourth, which is actually our first. So we are going to hold our yarn here, the loop here, and without losing it, we are going to put the head of our crochet hook into that V shape. And this is what I did. I went in, I yarned over, and I pulled up a loop. Now I have 2 loops on my crochet hook. I'm going to use this loop to go inside and get myself out. Now I have only 1 loop left on my crochet hook. This is how you can see we created a circle of 4 chains, and now we have this hole, the gap that the chain of 4 created. Now I'm going to start next row. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 chains over this circle that we just created. Now this is the gap where I'm going to do entire second row. I'm going to use only this gap that I have. Now what we are going to do is a double crochet. I'm going below the yarn, yarn over, and holding the 2 loops, going inside the hole that we created, and you go below the yarn directly here. I'm just pulling up a loop, and now I have 3 loops on my hook. You have to hold your yarn with this pinch, not putting much pressure. I don't want your thumbs to get hurt. And after pinching, I have these 3 loops. I'm keeping it a little snug. I don't want them loose, I don't want them tight. I am going below the yarn again, and I'm going to pull up a loop which comes through these 2. Same process, I want only 1 loop on my crochet hook. I'm going below again, yarn over, and still keeping the tension here. And I am going through 2. This is our first double crochet. So we learned 2 stitches. We learned the chain stitch and a double crochet. I'm doing this same process again. Going inside, below the yarn, yarn over, insert your hook into the center hole, pull up a loop, get out of it. You have 3 loops which I can slide through. They are snug. I am holding my pressure in my pinch and my yarn. Going below the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, go yarn over and pull through 2. And this is how I created chain 3, double crochet, double crochet. Now I want to stop right here and show you the actual granny square. So this is what we are about to make. This is called as granny square. What you will see, we created this center hole right now, and we are somewhere here where we have created 3 chains and 2 double crochets. This is our first set of granny stitch. Now we are going to create this gap with creating 2 chains. Again, we are going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, again chain 2, and we are going to complete our first round of set of 4 double crochets or set of 4 granny stitches. Now I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. These are my 2 chains that we just created. I'm going yarn over again. I want to make 3 double crochets now. This chain 3 where we started this round considered as the 3rd double crochet. So we are going to make the same looking structure again. I'm going like this. I have created a tension, a pinch, a hand yarn here, and a loop over my crochet hook. Yarn over, go into the center, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, into the center, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. We created 2 double crochets again. Loosen up your yarn from the yarn ball. We are going again, yarn over, into the center, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. What you will see is 2 sets of 3 double crochets. I'm going to insert my hook into the last loop that we created, adjusting my tension here. Now I'm going to create another corner just like this because we need a gap. Just like here, you can see there are 4 sets of 3 double crochets. We are here at the 2. We need to make 2 more. And for that, we are creating our next gap, next corner of the square. I'm going to yarn over, go into the center, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. Yarn over, into the center, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're about to complete our 3rd set of 3 double crochets. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Now we have 3 sets. The 1 set is still remaining, and then we will have the basic structure for our square. Chain 1, chain 1. We have 2 chains for the gap. Go into this V shape. What I did is, just like we did the slip stitch to join our first 4 chains, I went into the V stitch, I pulled a yarn, and I went through the earlier loop that we had on our crochet hook. This is called as a slip stitch, where you join things. Slip stitch is always used to join the things together. Congratulations, you just created a square. From now on, what I will say is, this is a cluster where the set of 3 is a cluster, and the corner piece where we have 2 sets of 3 double crochets, I will call it a shell. The corner is always a shell, and this one, the set of 3, is this set of 3 is always a cluster. Moving on to the next round. Just like what we created in the first round, the 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3. But here is twist. We have to turn our work so that we can create the granny square continuously. What I did 3 chains and I just turned my square. Everything remains the same. I'm again grabbing my yarn with the tension. I pinched here at the start of the next row. I went in and I'm going to create 2 double crochets here into this gap. Going into the gap, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to have second double crochet so that I can have a cluster of 3 double crochets. I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop. What you can do is, this is a little advanced. If you're not ready, don't try to do this, what I do is I frequently turn my crochet hook to increase my speed. So this is how I do it. The second double crochet I'll show you. I go into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So I have here the first set, but like I said, into the corner we create a shell, which is set of 2 clusters. Again, I'm going to chain 2 because this is a corner, but this corner is going to be a shell. So I created 2 chains, and I'm again going to create cluster of 3 double crochets. Now for this time, I'm going to jump into my next corner. Okay, so let's try to do this corner shell into each corner. Yarn over, go into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over. I'm just losing up my yarn from the yarn ball. Yarn over, go into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. This is my third double crochet into my first cluster. I did my third double crochet here, and I'm doing chain 2 for the gap that I will require for the next round. Going into the gap. This is my second cluster of 3 double crochets. This is my second double crochet, and I'm going into the gap and doing my third double crochet. And this is how we created 2 shells. Moving on to the next gap, I am going to yarn over, go into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2, yarn over, into the gap, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, into the gap, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We just created 3 shells. We are making progress, and we are about to complete this round after the 4th shell that we are going to create. Go in, yarn over into the gap, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1, chain 1. This is the last cluster that we are going to create, and then you know the drill. We are going to do the slip stitch to join it. Let's complete our second round. Yarn over into the gap, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We just completed 4 shells. To avoid the mistakes and repeat working, just count all your double crochets that you just created. We created 3, 3, 3, 3 for the first round, set of 4 clusters. Now in this round we created 4 shells. first cluster, second cluster. It has to be 3 double crochets. I'll show you how to count your double crochets. You always see the V here, but it looks more like a chain. Instead of that, what you can do is count your knots here. This is my first chain of 3, which will be considered as first double crochet. 1, 2, 3. It always has to be the set of 3. Then there is a gap of 2 chains. 1, 2, 3. There is a gap, but this gap is created because of the design of the square. We didn't create any chain. Make sure you don't have any chain in between while you are moving on to the corners. Again, we'll count another shell. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. There is a gap. Again, another shell. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. There is a gap, intended gap, and our last shell, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's join because our stitches are correct. Let's join our, just like what we did in our first round. 1, 2, 3. Into the third chain, into the V stitch of the chain, we are going, I'll show you again. I went into the V shape. I pulled up a loop. I have 2 loops, and I am making a tension created here. I am going to pull this one from my earlier one, and this is how my square goes. Now comes the third round. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and just like earlier round, I'm going to turn my work. You can either turn your work either way, whichever way suits you. This is the side that I created the second round. I'm going to turn my work. I am going to do 2 double crochets into this gap that just got created in the second round. Two double crochets, and we created 1 cluster here. Now what we will have is, we will have 4 shells into the corners. 4 shells into the corners. The shells are a set of 2 clusters. So 4 shells will always be there because this is a square pattern. The square has 4 angles into the corners. So we'll always have 4 shells. And in between, wherever you find the gap here, we will always do the cluster. That is a set of 3 double crochets. Moving on to the next shell. This is our corner. Remember, we have to make a shell. Let's make 3 double crochets. I'm moving on a little fast here because the first 2 rounds give you a better practice of double crochets and you automatically become confident in your third round. 1, 2. Because this is a corner, we are making a shell, and we put gap of 2 chains in 2 clusters. Into the gap, what we will do is, we are creating a cluster again. That is set of 3 double crochets. Yarn over into the gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we are again back to the next shell, next corner. Yarn over into the gap, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. This is our first cluster divided by the gap of chain 2. We're moving on to the next cluster and we'll complete this second shell. Moving on to the next gap where we will be doing the cluster. For your convenience, I'm not going to fast forward this video because I want you to learn. Even by looking at crocheting, you can learn many things. How to hold the crochet hook, how to turn your needle, and how to keep maintaining the pressure and the tension to move further faster. This was our third shell. Keep aligning and keep keeping your yarn straight and your square straight so that there will be no confusion. Always go back and check if you're doing it right way, or if you have lost the count, or if you have missed any stitch, or into the flow have you made more stitches than required. So far I'm doing good. I'm yarning over. This is my last gap, and after that I have only 1 shell remaining. This is my last shell. 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, and 3. And these here I come to join with a slip stitch. This is the end of our granny square. So this is how you count. Because we turned our work, the chains are always going to be on the side. 1, 2, 3. This is my third V shape of the chain. I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and I'm going to get that hook out of my first loop. This is how your granny square should look. Your yarn and hook size will always define how big your granny square is going to look. Adjust the hook size depending upon your needs. If you want your fabric or your project to be a little more flowy, go for a higher side, higher number of the hook. If you want your crochet to be a little tight and the project should look stiff, you should go for the lower number of the hook. In this project, I wanted to show off my stitches so that I can show you how to count them and how to create them. I went for the smaller hook. And this is the end of our granny square. To end our project, what we will be doing, we will be chaining 1. This is as good as a knot that will hold on your project forever. I'm going to snip off. I'll show you again. This is how I have joined, and this is my last loop. I'm creating a chain, and in this loop I'll keep enough tail to sew in my edges. I'm going into the loop and I'm cutting the yarn. Remove your existing yarn from the loop and tighten your crochet. You can leave it as is, or what we can do is we are going to sew in our tail into the yarn, into this project. I'll show you how. I put my yarn into this needle and I'm going to sew in. I'm going to take this on the back side so that I can hide my end of the project like this. And to hide this thing, I'm going to make sure these needles are blunt needles. I don't want you to go through the yarn and which will create a mess. So these needles are blunt and they can go pretty smoothly into your stitches. I'm particularly moving on from the borders because I don't want my yarn to show up in between. And this is how I did it. Same process we are going to follow in our this yarn that where we started our project. And I think I'm done here because sewing up this yarn is enough. You don't have to hide all the yarn that we have. And we are going to snip off. And here it is. Ta-da! You did it. And this is a nice work. I am so proud of it that we created this together. And what we're going to do is, I don't want you to throw this into the drawer and keep it like just is and just throw it away. Instead of that, what we're going to do is we're going to create a beautiful greeting card where I'll be pasting this and you can keep this as a keepsake and for the memory that we all created this together. Let's do it.